According to these invoices from the Macon-Bibb Industrial Authority, this building was demolished in 2015, but as you can see, it's still standing to this day. Agape Way Daycare is under investigation. That comes after a parent complained that a teacher here hit their child. The cause for the alarm is that these fake pills look like the real thing. According to Warner Robins police spokeswoman Jennifer Parsons, she says that the fake pills are white and round, but are thicker and more glossy than the real thing.
We are really starting to see the extent of the damage here in Warner Robins. We are just off of Green Street on Bruce Street, and you can see 2 trees have fallen onto this house.
The old analog systems reception weakened as you got further away from the tower. The signal was kind of shaped like an umbrella. At the edge of the range, the signal was spotty, but some could still get through. The new digital system has a stronger signal, but just drops its coverage at the end of its range. The GBI and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office are still on the scene here. We do not have very much information other than from Nellie Miles, the spokesperson for the GBI. Clay Murphy heads up SPLOST projects in Bibb County now, but back in the 80s, Murphy traveled the world with then Vice President George Bush. He set up secured telephone lines for the VP. I caught up with Murphy to reflect on his relationship with Mr. Bush and his wife, Barbara.
When you talked to her, there was nobody in the room more important than you at that time in her eyes. And she made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. It didn't matter who it was.
It's been more than 30 years, but Clay Murphy's memories of the Bushes still crystal clear.
It is hard for me, even after having been there, to imagine politicians today being that approachable. To them, it was a responsibility, it was an obligation to serve. And it was their turn.
Murphy says he traveled the globe for 3 years with the Bushes, but some of his fondest memories at the family's summer home in Kennebunkport, Maine.
The 2 of them were very down-home people. The ability to have a picnic with people you've never met and just cook for them when you're the vice president seems a little odd, but that was who they were.
Murphy says the former First Lady was easy to talk to. He remembers one conversation in particular when they were wiring a boat for the Secret Service to use.
She can barely see over the side of the boat, asking us what we're doing because the boat was still on a trailer. And she said, "What are we doing?" And we told her what we're doing, and she said, "Where'd the boat come from?" And we said, "The DEA." And her comment, just flat as she could be, "Well, George isn't going to like that. I'm going to have to go talk to him." He wasn't happy because the Secret Service boat was bigger than theirs.
Murphy also told me that every time he saw the Bushes together, they were holding hands. Tuesday morning, a man got out of his car and left it running at the corner of 2nd and Cherry in downtown Macon. He was going to get money out of an ATM. The man was using the SunTrust ATM here at the corner of 2nd and Cherry Street in downtown Macon when he was approached by Jarvis Ottman, who asked him for a cigarette. The next thing the man knew was Ottman was driving away in his Mazda. Then about 10 o'clock this morning, a patrol officer noticed that stolen car here on Emory Highway near Indian Circle. He turned on his blue lights to try and get the driver to stop, but a chase ensued. The Bibb deputy chased the driver of the stolen vehicle all the way down Emory Highway to downtown Macon. Then they made it here to Walnut Street, where Jarvis Ottman, the driver of the stolen vehicle, crashed into 3 cars parked just behind me here.
And like all the tires were like flat out like this. It was just crazy. There's debris everywhere.
Jenna Lazar lives right in front of where the crash happened and is thankful she wasn't home.
Yeah, because if we were here, like our cars would be like wrecked.
Lieutenant Randy Gonzalez with the Bibb County Sheriff's Office says these type of thefts aren't common. He says they are preventable and recommends taking your keys anytime you get out of the car. Advice Lazar hopes everyone takes.
You just think twice about it so you doesn't happen to your car too.
In Macon, Justin McDuffie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News. Evan Ricks is no stranger to responding to emergencies, but Monday he responded to an unusual one at his station where he volunteers.
21 years I grew up and I knew every guy on here, and I started being a junior firefighter when I was 15.
For him, he sees this place as a fortress, a place that helps keep others safe. That's the Horse Creek Fire Station in southern Telfair County.
And just to see our little old station ruined, it's pretty bad. But we're going to try to do the best way we can. It's heart-touching, it's heartbreaking that see what all we've worked for be gone by this storm.
As you can see, the tree just crushed the metal in this building, but luckily it looks like it was strong enough to prevent the trucks from being crushed.
Probably some of the worst moments of my life. It took us an hour and a half to get 5 miles to get here.
That's the station chief, Carl Holt. He's thankful they were able to finally get the 2 trucks out.
There's nothing going to stop us, the storm ain't going to stop us. We're going to do what we can.
And that volunteer spirit is what will continue to keep the county safe, one call at a time. In Telfair County, Justin McDuffie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News. Roaming the halls of a Bibb County school, you'll find teachers, students, and maybe a canine.
She's the cutest dog ever. She's just so big and fluffy.
Canine Officer Diva is her name, and she's here to work. Her mission to keep drugs off campus.
There's not a high school in this country that doesn't have drugs on its campus on a regular basis. And so that's something that we want to avoid.
To do that, the Bibb County School District Campus Police Department bought Diva and made her an officer on the force. Officer Russell Criswell is her handler.
Marijuana, heroin, ecstasy, cocaine. There's about 5 or 6 different drugs that she can alert to.
She roams the hallways, classrooms, and parking lots of every Bibb middle school and high school.
That's one sure way of doing it right there, because it's an element of surprise.
While they search, Criswell says Diva has an odd way of letting him know she's found something.
She'll sit, stare, and then all of a sudden she drops down and starts sliding backwards. So that's what we define as a change of behavior. So I know she's on alert. She's alerted to the odor of narcotics.
Some students like to put Diva to the test, according to Howard Senior Shania Stanley.
It was like some freshmen they got it, so she isn't a joke.
Once Diva alerts, Criswell notifies administration, like Howard High Principal Shannon Northfleet.
We search the item or the person, and we attempt to find any illicit objects or substances.
Students can be suspended, expelled, or even arrested, depending on what's found. But Diva's main goal is to be a real-life deterrent.
We want to be drug-free, but we live in a world we know that that'll never happen. But our goal is to keep them off the campus and keep the campus safe that way.
And knowing Diva's on patrol makes Shania a little more comfortable in class.
She makes sure the drugs and stuff don't come to school so that we can be safe.
In Macon, Justin McDuffie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.